invisible friends out there in YouTube land. My name is Haley and I am the Bookish Stitcher. Welcome back. I took a little bit of a break since my last FlossTube video a couple weeks ago. I just really kind of needed some time to sort through some mental health issues, some anxiety issues. There's been a lot of changes in my work, which has affected me pretty strongly, and the whole I have OCD, but I'm incredibly disorganized, and it causes me more anxiety thing hasn't been helping anything. So I took some time, got myself organized, took some deep breaths, and now I'm back. So I'd like to thank the people who did reach out to me on Instagram for checking in on me. That was very thoughtful and greatly appreciated. I think sometimes we all just need somebody to check in. So thank you guys again. That was more than I could have expected. You are true Stitchy friends. So yeah, it's been a bit. I got a lot of stitching done. Like I said in my last video, I'm going to start tallying how much I work on. So I did that. Somebody had mentioned that each square in the grid of the cross stitch is 100 stitches. It'd be easy to keep track that way, which is true, but I don't work just in a single box at a time, because I work through colors, I don't work through blocks. So I did some math and averaging, and so I have an idea of how many stitches I did. It's not exact, but it's what I'm going to use for my own purposes to kind of see where I've gotten, and I think kind of help show the progress of what I've gotten done. So that's the plan with that. Otherwise, haven't gotten up to too much here. Just reorganizing all of my stitch kits. Every time I shoot a video, I take everything all out of the bags, and then I start editing right away, so I don't always get everything back into the bags. So there have been days when I couldn't find a certain pattern that I was working on, or I couldn't find the right floss box. It was bad. And it's just one of those things, like I said, I have OCD, but I'm not organized, but it's more like I have OCD and I try to be like super chill, right? Like it doesn't bother me that things are not where they go or anything. That's not the case. So I'm embracing my OCD as much as I can. And by the way, a pet peeve of mine, I have been diagnosed with OCD by a medical professional. It's different from just saying that, oh yeah, I have OCD, like you have tendencies. So it's one of the things that, I don't know, I don't like to use the words trigger me, but it definitely bothers me when people say they have something that they don't actually have, because the anxiety level that some of these things cause me ruins my day. There were days when I would come home from work, go upstairs from work because I work from home, and I couldn't focus on anything except for one thing that might have been out of place. So I could either fix the one thing, which I did sometimes, or I tried to ignore it, which is exhausting. So I just go to sleep at like 5:30, 6 o'clock. So not fun, but on a day-to-day life, it doesn't bother me. It's not a bad thing to want things to be in a certain way. I try not to force my OCD tendencies on my husband, which is where I get the I just want to be chill thing and my stuff goes everywhere. But there's times when I'm not coping with other things very well, like I'm trying to bury other emotions, where the OCD kind of rears its ugly head and gets to be a little bit more than I can tolerate. And so that's where I was. I didn't feel like I was in control of things that I always thought I was in control of, and it was a struggle. Last week particularly was a struggle, and I don't want to talk too much about my work. I don't want, because I know there's a few people that I work with that occasionally watch these videos, and I don't want anything to get back and get me in trouble at work. So I work from home. I work in sales. Things have changed. I still have a job, and I can still do my job well with the way things are now. So that's really what matters. Other than that, it's all just personal, and it's trying to get over that. So working on that. I went and recolor coded my notes for work, so that was really fun. I got cat-shaped post-it notes with 5 different colors. They're rainbow colors, and I use a different color for each day of the week. I have a matching colored pen, ink. The ink is the matching color. So that makes it a little more fun to go to work. And I'm still working on finalizing my office corner because Wyatt and I had flipped the whole basement. So where it used to be my craft space is now my work office because it's a much smaller space. It's like the same amount of space, but on one side I have the oil barrel, which is where my work office is now because I need less space over there. And where my old office was will be my craft space, and I have a great view of the TV on the other side. So at some point, when we're closer to being finished, I'll kind of give you a basement tour, because we've really done a lot down here to make it like usable, livable space. But I think that's gonna be all that I have as far as life updates. So I'll start going through my stitches, or my kits, and see where I got up to. So 2 weeks worth of stitching progress, and I have another finish, so that's my 3rd for the year, and it's a little guy. Here's Hubert. Isn't he adorable? I love him so much. I like, I kind of went a little wonky on this eye over here, but I feel like it kind of suits him. He definitely looks a little caffeinated, let's put it that way, but I just think it's so cute. I love the colors of it. It's just really fun, and even the back stitching doesn't take itself too seriously. So it's just kind of a little haphazard, which works perfectly with my style, which is I'll follow the directions for a certain amount of time and then I'm gonna wing it. So I wing it. Winged it? It was wung? I think you get the point. So here's Hubert. Next week I'm gonna do a video where I wash out the grid lines. So that was a question that pops up a lot, so I'll show you guys how to do that. All of this area that's not stitched is water soluble, so it all rinses out so you have a nice white piece of fabric. So that I'm gonna do. Another question I have for you guys, you can leave your answers down in the comments. Do you initial your cross stitch when it's done? I don't right now, but if I'm giving something away as a gift, I kind of think that that might be something that I want to do, but it's one of those gray areas, right? Because it's a kit, so you're putting your name on somebody else's work. I don't know. You guys tell me what your thoughts are. I'm keeping this one, but it's just a finish and it brought something to mind. So here he is. I started on June 11th on this and I finished the 26th of June. So I'm just gonna sit here and look at how cute he is. So that's super. He doesn't count in my stitching total for the month because I didn't do any crosses on it. It's just backstitch, and I wasn't really sure how I wanted to. I'll put him up here. might be safer there. I wasn't sure how I was going to count that, so no biggie. I don't really care. That's a lie. I do care a little bit. All right. So for the 2 weeks of work, I did 3,925 total stitches across all of my projects. So I'm going to go in order like I normally do of when I originally started the piece, and we'll go from there. So like I said, I'm keeping everything in my project bags. I'm sure you can see the cat hair. My cats like to lay on them when they're empty. So I should have de-haired it first. But I got these off of Amazon. They're the Living Traveling Share tote bag. They're cotton. This is awful. I'm so sorry, you guys. It does have a zipper, which I like. I don't always use, but if I'm traveling with it, I would zip all my stuff shut. It's got these 2 interior pockets where I can keep my note card, if I want to, some extra sewing notions like scissors and that kind of thing, and then I put my whole floss box in here. So that's what I have. I have a bunch of them. I am going to get out my Cricut and make fun little decals for them, but I haven't done that yet, obviously, because it's blank. But anyway, this one belongs to Water Lily. So this I started in January of 2018. The Needle Kung Fu Kit, 11 count, 35 colors, and it's 194 by 358 stitches. So that's what that one looks like when it's all done. And it's gonna be a photo of where I was last time when I did this video. And this is where I am now. So I did 720 stitches on here. I worked mostly over in this section, kind of filling out this darker spot. And then I started working over here. I filled in some of this lily pad here. And I think I did work a little bit over in this section here. So I'm not really concentrating where my stitches are going in this, so it's very hard to actually see the progress being done, but my goal is to, I need to stop setting goals for myself. I started this a little over a month ago, like 6 weeks ago, I think, and I said, I don't like to set goals for myself when I'm stitching because it causes me to, get anxiety and worry that I'm not doing enough. And here I am setting goals for myself. So ignore my goal comment. I'm going to try to also, but this is a kit that I am putting away at the end of August to bring out a autumn kit. So I'm not gonna be, I want to get as much on it done as I can, but not sacrifice what I'm doing on some of my other kits. So walking that balance. There's a cat over my head on my bookshelf, so we'll see how that works. But yeah, I am pretty happy with the progress I've made since I brought this back out, and I look forward to seeing where I get to at the end of August. Let's leave it there. Oh man, this is gonna be a while. All right, so the next kit I have here, this is a fun bag. Okay. All right, so this is my Lighthouse kit. It's a Needle Kung Fu kit, 11 count, 51 colors, and the finish size is 18 inch by 23 inch. So that's that one. This one's gonna be for my mother for a holiday or birthday that will be close to when I finish it. It got 400 stitches in it in the last 2 weeks, so one of the lower amounts that I did. Sorry, Mom. but I am going to start working on it more consistently coming up in the next couple of months. So in here, I've just been working on finishing out this brick wall. So it's coming along really nice. I'm loving the way that detail's working. And then I'm kind of filling in some of these rocks a little bit too as I go through. So what I do is I take out a length of thread and I cut it in half, and then I separate it into quarters. And I work the whole 1/4 from start to finish. So sometimes when I run out of a color up here, I'll go and fill it in back there. I don't like to take odd segments of thread out. I just don't. First, the thought had never previously occurred to me. Can you not? And then, sorry. There he goes. I have books up on the top of my bookcases, and I'm looking at them, and he's pushed a bunch of them like over the edge, because Cecil likes to run back and forth up there. I might need to take those down so I don't get concussed one day while I'm sitting here. Anyway, so one thing, it had never occurred to me, and the other thing is I'm not sure, like, what if I take too much thread? What if I take too little thread? Like, I'm still pretty stingy when it comes to thread or floss. So I'm very careful on that. But also I think it's kind of, I find that it keeps my floss better organized, and I'm less likely to get knots and tangles if I just use it for the entire piece instead of trying to put that piece back on the bobbin. But that's just a me thing. I don't have scientific evidence to dispute my fact or prove it. But anyway, next we're going to be going into these rocks down here, which is one of those things I really like stitching. These kind of things, you get a lot of like a circular, like sort of stitch arounds and stuff, which it's like a puzzle. I like to figure out like the best way to stitch. And so that's going to be a lot of fun, but it's a lot of, so it's about 5,000 stitches, really? I don't know, a bunch. I can't math. It's after 9:30 tonight, and I'm 2,500. It's over 2,500 stitches. And it's only 5 colors. So, I like stitching more than 5 colors, and it's all brown, and I hate stitching brown. But after I'm done with all this section here, not the lighthouse, but the lighthouse over, I'll be halfway done, and then I get to start on the really fun parts, like the trees and the big house, and so I'm very excited. I just gotta push through and deal. So, lighthouse. There's that. Alright, so next in here. So this is my Stitchy go bag. This is the one that I keep my smaller kits in normally, that I can just pick up and take with me when I go to appointments that I know, like when I go get my toes done. I take this so I have something to do, or just when I go down to my parents' house. So I have 2 left in here right now because I finished the owl. All right, so the first one I have here is the 8 cats. So this is a Joy Sunday kit, 14 count, 23 colors, and the finish size is 42 by 23 centimeters. And this one I did 770 stitches on the last 2 weeks. So this is where I am on the full piece. This is where I finished, and I finished Maggie right here. So cute. I think she's my favorite, like in the entire rest of the piece. And then I started working on this one next to Maggie, and I put in the ears of the Siamese just because I had that color. So I name everybody as you may have guessed. So this is Toulouse, this is Bernice, this is Galaxy, and this is Maggie. And then I have a name for the Siamese I'm going to be working on. His name is Simon. So I always wanted a Siamese cat named Simon. But I don't have a name right now for the cat in between them. So she's a puffy girl. And I've bounced a few names back and forth. Like I thought about Coco or I don't know, something weird like that, but I wasn't very happy with it. So opening it up to you guys again, what do you think I should name this cat? She is a girl. Her name doesn't have to be a name. It can be a thing. Like you can name her Cookie. I don't know. And yes, it is important to me that she's a girl. Just throwing that out there. So that's where I am on that. Oh, and that one I started on March 5th, just in case anybody cared. All right, and so next up I have the Cats Under the Sun, which got 640 stitches. So here's this guy, Needle Kung Fu Kit, 11 count, 23 colors. Finish size is 25 by 35 centimeters, and I started this on March 8th. And I made some really good progress on here, 640 stitches worth. But here we are. So I've gotten into the greens right now, and you know, the swirly pattern on those. I'm loving that. I love stitching those sorts of patterns. I love stitching these colors. This has been so much fun. And I got into this really pretty lilac up here, so that's in these ears and these stripes down here. And I realized these guys don't have names yet. I think I need to finish them first because they're not speaking to me yet. So we'll see. But yeah, I am very happy with the way this one's turning out. I'm very excited to finish it. Not usually excited to finish things in a good way. Like this one I'm excited to finish because I can't wait to see it when it's all done. Most of the time I can't wait to finish because I'm so sick of doing it. So, and that's because I normally work on really big pieces. So I'm gonna set up a finish parade at some point, which will be all of the stitches all the finishes I've ever done, which sounds like more than it actually is, but it's still gonna be undertaking. I'm gonna throw in a few of my diamond paintings that I have finished because I'm very proud of them. But yeah, I'm gonna start working on that for uploading it for the end of the month. So that is those two. Alrighty. As it's 9:30 at night, I'm having coffee. I had a day. Alright, so next I have the Old Married Couple. Alright, so that's this one here. So this one I started on April 18th. It's a Joy Sunday kit, 11 count, 47 colors, and the finish size is 57 by 46 centimeters. This is another kit where I'm just kind of working a little bit on everywhere, and it's getting a little demotivating. So I'm gonna start, I got a Q-snap for it, and I'm just gonna put it in the Q-snap and just start finishing it up in sections. But here we are on here. So primarily I'm still working up here on this background. I did rip out the hat here because I wasn't liking the way it was stitched, but then I ripped the canvas. So I'm just kind of stitching it together and hoping for the best. But if anybody has any good ideas on how I can fix that, I think I'm just gonna use like some, not tape, but like fabric tape, I don't know, to kind of hold it back together. Because it ripped. Here, let's show you on the back. Don't mind the needle. It ripped in between the holes, of course, but kind of jagged, but you can kind of piece them back together. So I tried to stitch them together, which obviously didn't work because it ripped through the holes. So we'll see. Part of me is like, I should have just left it, and the other part of me is like, well, it'll end up better in the long run. So I worked there. I worked some down here on this bed because I wanted to try and get all of the edges done so I could use the Q-snap. And then I also started some stitching. Ooh, sorry, I don't mean to make you nauseous with my flipping of the canvas. Started working on some of the quilt down here, and that purple, oops, that's right here. I'm really liked that color. It reminds me of Black Raspberry Soft Serve. So that was really fun. But because I'm having a hard time seeing progress in it besides the top, I'm just gonna throw it in a Q-snap. Normally when I start kits, I start in the top left when I'm looking at it, so up here. So I'm gonna start up here and work my way down and across. So this is a kit that has a definitive due date because of what I want to do with it. I want to enter it into my state fair. So we'll see. I had wanted to get the full cross stitch done by the end of this month, and so I could work on backstitch for a month because there's a lot of backstitching in it. But that's not looking like it's gonna be the case. So that's that. All right, I did bring over Petunia, so she's one that I've been working on sit and stitches just on the channel. So she is right here, 11 count, 36 colors, finished size is 46 by 46 centimeters. And I didn't work on her at all because I'm only doing it on camera, and I didn't camera in the last couple weeks. But here's where I am with her. I'm very, very happy with the way this is going to turn out. I like that a lot. So then I mentioned in my last FlossTube that I was going to do a stitching challenge, which ended poorly. I did shoot a video for it, but that was after probably my worst days of work 2 weeks ago, and I just wasn't feeling it, and you could tell on the video, so I decided not to upload it. And that is when I stopped uploading, obviously. So my goal was to stitch for 2 hours on each of my projects. I'm just double checking. I had 5. Oh, and the owl. So I had 6. So it would have been 12 hours of stitching over 2 different days. And I started off strong. I got some good progress on the first kit that I worked on, but the problem was I started it at 9:30, 10 o'clock at night, after I had worked all day and had filmed a video already. And it was just one of those things that I put together on a whim. Poor planning. I'm just like, oh, this will be fun. So I didn't end up finishing it. I did 2 hours on every kit except for the water lilies. So I was really proud of the progress that I did make. I liked doing the challenge. I like the idea of doing it, not my execution of this particular one, but it is something that I'm going to be looking at doing again in the future. I'm just gonna make sure I plan it better next time. But part of that was that I was gonna start a new kit. So I did that anyway. I didn't finish my challenge, but I started my kit. I haven't even put this, I haven't even kitted this up. I've just been working on it out of the bag, which I hate myself for. So tomorrow is Saturday, so I'm gonna make sure it's all nice and kitted up correctly. But this is the kit I'm working on. It is Rich Fish. That's not obviously the best picture of it. It's kind of small. It's a 14 count, 38 by 53 centimeters is its finished size. So it's bigger than I thought it was gonna be. I thought it was gonna be like half this size. I'm not good with centimeters, you guys. Just not. And it is 18 colors. So that was the other thing. I was hoping it would have a little bit more sort of dimension in it, but it's just really big color blocks. So this is where I am over here. This guy got 275 stitches. I didn't start there for any particular reason, just because I did, but this is the whole thing. I have another one in my stash that is very, very similar, like too similar, but I thought it'd be cool if I'd finish them and put them in our bedroom, one on each side of our bed. So that's the plan for that. That's the plan. I'm gonna finish his first. This one's his. I saw somebody else on FlossTube pick up this kit, and I just like fell in love with it. Instantly went and found it online and bought it. So there's that. And then lastly, we have the one that I'm gonna start for my next little kit that's gonna go in my Stitchy go bag. It is called Beauty Owl. So there's that right there. I haven't started this one at all, so I'm just opening it up with you. It's 15 by 20 and it's also 14 count. Really into the 14 counts right now, apparently. So here's our Beauty Owl. I really like stitching birds and cats, particularly owls, apparently. So excited to start that. Sorry. And these are the colors. So there are a lot of browns and blues. So I thought it'd be nice to have up for the winter. For no particular reason other than the colors. But yeah. So that's going to be my next start. I'm going to get this kitted up this weekend also and get it into the rotation for next week. And I think that is it for me. I really appreciate you guys stopping by. All of your comments have been great. I love reading them. I read every single one. It means a lot to me, this community. I think we're at 660 subscribers, or 660 Stitchy friends, as I like to think of them. So thank you all. Thank you for everybody who follows me on Instagram. And if you are new and you have made it this far, please subscribe and like this video so other people can find it. And I hope that you have a beautiful rest of your day full of stitching. Bye, everybody.